Hey, Forces of Man once again. Again, hopefully this will be uploaded before I have to send this computer to the repair. Uh, but for those wondering, I am about ready to. Again, hopefully this will be uploaded along with a review I did for a film, Hellraiser Revelations, which, yeah, that was a great movie, I know. What do I expect? Always expect to be surprised. That's the best feeling for a movie going experience, at home or in a theater. To be surprised. And that's why I'm thankful this film is flopping. But who knows? Maybe I could be surprised. And that is The Thing 2011. Prequel, remake, pre-made. Before you say, oh, no, it's not remake, it's prequel. I'm going to go see the film because I have some money. And this way I can see it. I have some money. $10. This way I can see it on the best screen possible, the right way, as a good little boy, in a theater, and see whether this film is good or not. It's been ravaged by the critics, 33%. But, I've seen a few people on YouTube give some good notices. Of course, I'm usually against the grain on a lot of stuff, but I'm going to go to this film with a fair. So no, on my hairy chest. My hairy chest saying fair. Be fair, I'm going to be fair. Meaning, if I like the film, I'm going to be honest. If I don't like the film, I'm going to be honest. So, I'm going to check this movie out. I will even show you the ticket stub to prove it. I don't have hope for it, but again, the best feeling in the world is to see a film and be surprised. 127 hours. I'm like, okay, the guy from Spider-Man, I don't know. But I was very much surprised by 127 hours. Inception. I'm not sure. It's got a lot of hype. But hey, I enjoyed Inception. You know? You look at your remakes and you're like, oh. And some of them are good. You know? Dawn of the Dead remake. Had a lot of fun with. So it's like, okay, the John Carpenter's The Thing is my favorite horror film of all time. But I'm going to give this film a chance. So the next time you see it, and you see me, I'm going to be coming home, and I'm going to tell you guys what I feel about the film. It's probably going to be a long one, because I want to make it epic before I have to ship it, and it'll probably be another week or so until you see me again, so it'll be epic. So happy Halloween for people out there. But until then, I'm going to go check it out at the theater, and I will see you guys later. Ciao. Fuck! 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 What the fuck? Fuck it! Fuck it! God damn! You piece of fucking shit! Cum stain motherfucking son of a fucking bitch! Cum ass mother fuck you, you motherfucking piece of shit! I get energy from the air. I converse with paramecium. I talk to polar bears, man. I fuck nuclear waste! Well, for folks out there, I just got home from seeing The Thing 2011 version, the prequel, pre-made, whatever, of The Thing. As you can see, I have the t-shirt of The Real Thing, as I'll call it. My favorite horror film of all time. That a good friend of mine, Effrey, gave me this shirt. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, to prove it, The Thing, 5:10 p.m. showing, 7:25, October 20th, 2011. That's $7.25. I would have worked better just sticking up my ass and trying to shoot it across the room because I'm bored. Now, right off the bat, I know people are like, Matt, it's not that bad. Matt, it's okay. Matt, come on, what do you expect? I paid for this film. You can see I paid for this film. I paid $7. I didn't steal it off the internet. I didn't wait for DVD. I came into the theater. When the film started, I was by myself in the fucking theater. And then like 2 people came in. This is a 5:10 showing. Great, on a Thursday. So with those 2 guys that just came in at the last minute, 3 people, including me, were in that fucking theater. 3! I'm glad this film's bombing. Okay, well, again, I know people are like, dude, what do you expect? Obviously, I gave it a fair shake. Otherwise, I would just download the thing online. But maybe that's the reason why this will be the last review I'll do for a while, because I'm setting this computer up just to get it all fixed up so I can just move faster and smoother. Since I have the warranty, might as well use it. So I'll be back in like a week or 2. So happy Halloween. But hey, it's October. I'm going to give it a fair shake. And about a fair shake, well, you know what a fair shake is? My dick after taking a piss. Because I wanted to piss on this movie. I swear, as I'm sitting in the theater, I wanted to take a shit. I went home and took a dump. Or left a dump, because you don't take a dump with you. I left it. Okay? I swear, I wanted to leave a big fucking dump. This is like the first time I've been in the theater and I wanted to take a dump while watching the film. This film gave me fucking diarrhea. Now, I know you're saying, it's not that bad. Okay. I'll get into the reasons. The best part of this film was before the film, they showed clips of Beavis and Butthead. Because they're showing what's coming out. That was the best part of the movie. And it's not even the movie. First off, I know there's people out there who like this film. But I'm thankful there's people who don't. Michael Keane, I know he was disappointed, but it didn't seem like he hated it. But I know like the cinema snob Brad Jones, he hated this film to death. Spoonie, the Spoonie one, he hated this film to death. Harry Knowles hated this film to death. And I hate this film to death. I mean, right off the bat, people are like, why? Why are you so mad? In 2004, John Carpenter wanted to do a sequel. A sequel to this film, which happens to be my favorite horror film of all time. A sequel. With Kurt Russell and Keith David. That's official. That's not a rumor. He wanted to do it. And he said, I can bring Kurt Russell back. I can bring Keith David back. I show them how they age, give like frostbite and stuff. I want to continue the story. And Universal said no. Universal said, no, we don't want to do it. So just a few years later, they decide this prequel idea is a better way. That's called the exact same fucking title, The Thing. Yes, I know this is a remake. I'm not going to call it the original, because this is the original. But you know what? I like this film too. I highly enjoy this film. This is one of those few films from the 50s, 1951, RKO Pictures, produced by Howard Hawks. I enjoy this film a lot. This is one of the few 50s films that I really got into. I thought it was stereotypes, well acted, good suspense at times. This is a really good film. This is 10 times better than this thing. And this is 100 times better than this thing. I enjoy these two. So I'm a fan. This I'm not. But John Carver wanted to do a sequel. They said no, but let's do a prequel. Now, people get mad when you call this a remake. I've seen a lot of people get mad and pissed. It's not a remake, it's a prequel. I call it a pre-make. Okay? Pre-make. Okay? Which means they take a pre-cum as in I want to fucking do that more than watch your fucking movie. I want to pre-cum over my hand and lick it, then watch your fucking movie again because it's assaulting my eye sockets and still fuck me to death. I'm being over the top, I know, but technically it's a prequel, but it feels so much like a remake. So technically it is a prequel. It takes place in Norwegian camp. When this film ends, is where this film begins, with the dog and stuff. They set up a few things, like when MacReady and them find the axe on the door, they set that up. But, yes, technically it is a prequel. And they do a few things a little different. But it feels like a remake at times. When you have a scene where it involves testing people, one goes into this extravagant transformation. The flamethrower does not work. This guy on the end gets boom and thrown away and is on the ground shaking, and ultimately at the end has to torch him. I'm like, is that Windows? No, that's not Windows. Think about the Norris scene, big transformation. Not the Norris. I fucked up. This movie is fucking with my brain cells. It's a scene with Palmer in the chair, and he goes all fucked up, and much better than anything in this fucking movie. And Windows gets grabbed and thrown, and MacReady's trying, and it doesn't work. It malfunctions, and gets another one, and then has to torch Windows. A test scene, a transformation, another guy getting thrown over here, malfunction of the flamethrower, and torching this guy over here. How do you deny that? That it feels like a remake. Name another prequel that this has happened to that people think that it's a remake that has the same fucking title, The Thing. You know what it has? You know why they call it The Thing? They did an interview with these guys who made it. Well, we tried some subtitles, but we couldn't think of anything, so we just call it The Thing. Try a little harder. Call it The Thing First Encounter. Beyond the Thing. Below the Thing. Before the Thing. Hell, take the title from this film. The Thing from Another World. Hell, fucking call it Who Goes There, since it was based on the short story. Who Goes There? No, they just call it The Thing. Just like, this is The Thing. But John Carpenter's The Thing. See, that John Carpenter is a big fucking difference. So, I know people are like, man, why are you pissed off about this film? Why does it... First, I want to get the people responsible. Mathis Van Heineken Jr. This guy started doing trailers for Toyota and Bud Light. Makes sense. You need a beer or a Heineken to watch this fucking movie. And he's doing something called Army of the Dead. You do need a Heineken. And by the way, I have a personal investment in this fucking movie. Because one of these writers, apparently when I had my old account and I was bitching about this film, got pissed off that I complained about it and said, like 5-7 paragraphs saying that he was the writer and how dare you say something when you haven't seen it before. Now, I don't know if this... I doubt it's this Ronald D. Moore guy who did an uncredited rewrite. First, because it's uncredited. Second, this guy's like doing shit with the Battlestar Galactica. Shitloads of Star Trek. I mean, he has more important things to do. I think it's the main writer, Eric Heiserer. This is such a great writer. You know what else this guy's written? He's written the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street by Samuel Baras. He did Final Destination 5. And he did this film. So, Nightmare on Elm Street remake, Final Destination 5 in this film. That's the trifecta of bullshit. My dick. Watching My Dick for 90 minutes is better than this movie. I'm sorry. I'm so pissed off. This film is the worst film of the year for me. Being a big fan of this film, and people are like, you can't compare it. You can't compare it. It's hard to compare it when it's the same fucking title. When it's supposed to be a prequel. If it's a sequel, people compare it to the original and bitch about stuff all the time. Hell, how about this film? A lot of people call this a ripoff of Alien and the Thing, but this film does so many things better than this film. This film has characters you give a shit about, has an excellent cast, Peter Weller, Richard Crenna, Daniel Stern, Ernie Hudson, beautiful score by Jerry Goldsmith, creature effects that don't make you laugh your ass off and like, oh my god. And it's definitely not a carbon copy of The Thing or of Alien. Hell, just being underwater alone is different enough than some of this shit. So, okay. This film starts off with a Norwegian sex joke. No, these Norwegians are coming down and Norwegian tells a fucking joke about a little boy walked into his mom and dad having sex. And he got freaked out and he left. And the dad followed and found his boy fucking the grandma. And the boy says, not so funny when it's your mom, isn't it? You don't start out the prequel to The Thing with a shitty Norwegian sex joke? And people give this the pass. This film does not deserve a 6.7 on IMDb. You know what IMDb means sometimes? In my damn butt. Like this fucking movie should be. This fucking movie. This piece of fucking shit. So they found a cinema. And like in the trailer, they fucking fall down and it looks like ass. The effects look like ass. They fall down, they get stuck, and they find this gigantic fucking spaceship. Then you cut to, the only time you know this is 1982, they put like right over here. Antarctica, winter, 1982. There's no way in the film that you could know this is 1982 other than that. People go, well, when you first see Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she has headphones. I could find those headphones at fucking Goodwill. That doesn't say shit. Oh yeah, you know what song she's listening? Who can it be now? Who can it be now? Do you get it? It's called Who Can It Be Now? Isn't that cute? But it's cute as shoving a Care Bear up your ass. And wiping it with it. It talks with the guy from fucking Dumb and Dumber. Which, when I saw this in The Thing, the real thing, let me call it John Carpenter's The Thing. I didn't think one of these guys would be fucking the guy from Dumb and Dumber. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So, for some reason, this beginning reminded me so much of AVP. But just thinking about, they find something in the ice, and they gotta get this American girl who's gonna be the kind of Ripley. I will give credit. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is much better than Sanaa Lathan, whatever the fuck that girl bitch it was in AVP. This girl was a better actor, but there's nothing to her character except she's there, and then she pretty much becomes like Ripley. Which, how many sci-fi horror films have you seen that? Where the girl is going to become like Ripley. Like AVP. But remind me, a helicopter, and they're going to this location. I know it may not seem fair, but remind me more of fucking AVP. The beginning of AVP, man. It really did. And that's not a good thing. The look, again, I know Mary Elizabeth was, again, she is better than fucking, and by the way, fuck you, writer, for giving me shit. Eric Heisserer, I saw your fucking movie and made my dick limp. Gave me STDs. Shitty taste in dipsticks like you in your fucking face. Sorry, I'm just pissed and going off tangent. But be like, okay, get to the point. It's 14, 15 minutes long. What's so bad about it? I mean, for some reason, these Norwegians, they find a fucking spaceship and an alien in the ice. And for some reason, they get an American girl to go all the way there. Why? Don't they have anybody in any Norwegians that can do this shit? She doesn't even do much. She just says one or two things, and they just cut a block of ice. How fucking tough is that? Gee, how do we get this out? Gee, I wonder why. I wonder how. She goes, with the proper tools, take half a day. And they just did a block of ice. I'm like, so, was that all you had to do? Was basically just cut a block of ice and you needed this girl from all the way in fucking America to come down there? Like, do you have no scientists? Norwegian scientists? Which is weird. This is 1982, and almost every single one of these Norwegians, they speak American fairly well, except one. And one guy pointed out, I gotta give credit, is, I forget who the guy was, but you have that language barrier. Wouldn't that come up with better suspense? Like, wait a minute, what are you saying? What are you saying? What's he saying? Is he maybe they're conspiring against us? Like, that language barrier to create some suspense? It doesn't. This film, what makes this film bad is that it's a forgettable, mediocre, horribly effects-wise, horrible effects, forgettable. Like, if I don't do this review now, I will forget it by tomorrow. I had to write notes in the theater, for fuck's sake, to remember shit. It's totally forgettable. It's totally unnecessary. It's totally pointless. And it's totally bad special effects. It's totally bullshit. The characters are nothing. The personalities are nothing. The actors, I couldn't tell who the fuck was who half the time. Okay, that guy died. Who the fuck was that again? There's nothing to this film. I would say Sci-Fi Channel, but I will admit some of the production, like the camera work, is not too MTV. But it just cheap. I don't know if it was the theater I was in. This is the loudest fucking movie in a long time, to the point where my ears were fucking hurting. Maybe I haven't been to a theater a long time, but this is one of the loudest fucking movies. And that's what it tries to do is scare. It's boo scares. The first scare is the black guy, of course, goes in. He doesn't die first, though. And you know what the first scare is? He's looking. Some guy behind him goes up, goes, boo! I shit you not. That's like the first scare is someone come up behind him and go, boo! You went from this, it was a prequel, pre-make, fucking call it pre-make. Just people get pissed if you call it a remake. Pre-make. Boo? And then that shitty shot you see in the trailer where the bad CGI where it comes out of the ice. And then basically just... Plus, I love the fact they just leave it to thaw like a dumbass. And that ice, before it pumps up, for some reason still looks like fake shit. Shitty boo scares. It jumps off and this shitty looking tentacle punches through a guy. Pulls him back. I think it was so fucking dark you couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. I think you had teeth and tentacles and some CGI. Was there practical? Because Alligator Gillis and Tom Wood Jr. I heard that they had to reshoot some stuff or they had to do some stuff. That's not my fault. I mean, I know, but it's the effects guys who did this or not. I don't give a fuck. This guy keeps saying traditional practical effects will be used on the creatures whenever possible. My ass. Most of this is fucking CGI and bad CGI to the point at times I thought, am I watching fucking the video game Dead Space or Resident Evil with the tentacle monsters? I swear it's like I'm watching fucking Dead Space or Resident Evil, the video games. The Thing is not fucking Dead Space. But anyway, you can barely see shit in that one, and they burn it. And that's where you get the autopsy scene, and you find a face in there that's practical, granted. And like, oh shit, maybe it's mimicking us, and it's like I already know. I mean, I know you gotta get the audience today to come up to snuff, but I already know what's going on. And you get this helicopter scene where they don't take this guy who looks very sick, and I'm like, that's not the thing. If that's the thing, then this guy who looks really sick, then they're really fucking it up. They're really. I'm like, okay, these you have to hope these guys are not the complete dumbest people on earth. So it's going to be someone else, and it is. The guy, his face fucking falls off, and a billion fucking little tentacles just shoot out. Looked so fucking fake. It looked like a fucking FMV of a fucking Dead Space looked better. The Dead Space, the video game, looked better than this shit. Like a billion tentacles, and then the chopper just, and then crashes over here. And I'm like, why the fuck did it do that? I understand that they were going to leave and they were going to go over. And then Mary Elizabeth Winstead finds teeth fillings, which I'll explain later. And then the helicopter pilot, Joel Edgerton, I swear this guy tried so hard to be like Kurt Russell. He tried to sound like Kurt Russell. Him and Mary Elizabeth Winstead are the two actors that I didn't hate entirely, but there's nothing to their characters at all. And this Joel Edgerton guy, he's like the second guy on the call sheet, but he's barely in the movie. He's not in the movie. He doesn't feel like he's in the movie that much. And there's nothing to their characters. I mean, he's a helicopter pilot, and he's like trying to be. He's like half-ass version of Kurt Russell. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's okay as an actress, but it's like, okay, she's trying to be. She ultimately becomes another fucking Ripley wannabe. Whoop-de-doo. I've seen that a billion fucking times in so many sci-fi films. Okay, and the helicopter, it goes off and it crashes like off screen. And they don't come back till like 20 fucking minutes or so into the fucking movie. I guess so that when they come back, you're like, are they the thing? Are they not? Are they the thing? Are they not? But you don't give a shit. This film doesn't do any good job with suspense, with scares, with anything. And then like there's this other girl there, and Billy Wisman was listening to her and brings her back to this room. And I understand that people say, well, the thing is not as stealthy in this film. People who love the film defend it this way. Because this thing is not stealthy at all. Not fucking stealthy at all. But people explain it this way. They go, well, the reason is that it's still new. Meaning it doesn't know how to deal with humans, and it learns how to be stealthy when it gets to this film. And I'm like, how fucking convenient. It learns with the good movie. But my question is, why does it take... First of all, you may act like this is a newborn thing when people say that. For example, take me. If I, Mr. Nobody, gets put as a spy to fucking Iraq, I may not have been a spy ever, but I'm going to know that if they don't suspect me, I'm not going to fucking shoot out. So like this, when they goes down, he could have waited for the copter to land. I mean, they were going to land, but the copter to land, and people are concentrating on this guy who's sick. But besides, if the thing mimics its victim perfectly, that's the point. Won't it retain all its memories and data and how everything works? I thought so, but whatever. People want to defend it that way, fine, That's just personal taste, personal preference, personal thing. It's just, it made for a more interesting movie when it was more stealthy than when it was a Jack in the Box. Whether it was learning or not, it just made for a better movie. And you compare it to this, people say don't compare it. It's the same title, of course. But even like Isn't it more interesting for this to be more stealthy? To get more suspense out of it? But, whatever. But this girl thing comes in, and she changes. I swear to God, it was like something out of a video game. I shit you not. She, like, the girl's behind Mary Elizabeth Winstead and falls back and has his fucking teeth that. And fucking CGI tentacles and shit. And she gets out of there. She runs past a guy, and the guy gets stabbed. And oh my God, the CGI was. People are like, well, don't compare it to the original thing. Well, this is the original thing, but don't compare it to this one. Hard to do that, but even in CGI today, I know like even Michael Caine, I know he liked it, but I don't. I don't like this video game bullshit. Don't tell me, well, CGI is here to stay. Bullshit, my dick. CGI does not have to stay. If you want to say, well, CGI is here to stay, I want to ask you, why? 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 Alec Gillis, Tom Woodward Jr., I don't see much of their shit. Especially a lot of the big money shots. I don't see it. I don't see it. Whether they were redone in post production, and that's why it went from it was going to release in the spring, and then it went into October. That's not my fault. I didn't. That's not my fault. I'm a movie door. That should not be my fucking problem. And why is it that a film 30 years ago looks better than a film today? I asked you that question. Why is that a film 30 years ago, 29 years ago to be exact, 1982 to 2011, that's 29 years ago. Why is it that a film 29 years ago looks better than a film today? This film had a $15 million budget. It wasn't 30, it wasn't 50, 15. Double that, that's 30. This film cost 35. Films like Reanimator and Dead Alive by Peter Jackson, micro-budget films. And the effects look beautiful. Face splitting open, all this other shit. Why does that look better than shit in this movie? Why? And please, do not even tell me that it doesn't. Because if you're going to be one of those people who actually says that the effects in this film are better or on par with this film, I have nothing more to say to you. Because there's no way I can argue with you. Because I would just be rude and angry about it. Saying, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking and drinking and polluting. I know that's mean and rude and everybody has an opinion. Everybody should have their opinion. But I can't fucking talk to you if you don't actually say that the effects in this film are not as good as this film. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's not the case. Well, I come back to my question. Why? Why? Why is it that a film 30 years ago looks better than a film today? Think about it. If you made a film in the 80s and you said that a film in the 50s had better effects, people would probably be laughing. It's about progress, right? For things to look better, to seem better, more grotesque, more ugly, more this. If people want to be cheapskates, why should I give them the pass? You can't tell me that a film 30 years ago can look better than a film today. There's no excuse. There is none. You want to be cheapskates? Then, you know what? Be a cheapskate on the ticket price. I want my $7.25 back. How about that, motherfucker? You want to be a cheapskate in the movie? Be a cheapskate on my fucking ticket. Or if I don't like the movie, give me my fucking money back. How about that? Oh my God. And then they burn that creature. And you have the scene where they're going to do the blood test. I'm like, oh my God, but I know that's not the case because I heard about what it is. But then that gets fucking burned up. And like, well, shit. I found these teeth fillings. And the thing is, this thing cannot replicate inorganic material. So we have to look at everybody's mouths. Open your mouth. Oh, you got teeth filling. So you're a human. Not everybody has fillings, for one. It's such a. I understand it's them trying to be different, not copy this film, but it's just such a fucking silly notion to me. We don't look at your teeth. Open your mouth. Every time someone said open your mouth, I just kept thinking, and suck my dick. You know, like the finish that sentence, open your mouth and suck my dick. Open your mouth. You know, I was hoping that someone say open your mouth and either something shoot out of the mouth or doing the test just punches right through the fucking mouth. Or, you know. But remember Dead Alive with Peter Jackson and a much smaller budget? The face going by the little zombie baby? Awesome. Holy shit. Nothing in this movie like that. Nothing at all. Nothing. Nothing. If you think these effects are good, more power to you, but I don't get it. I don't get it. This is fucking video game bullshit. I did not go pay to see a fucking video game. I just see shit on YouTube about the Dead Space video game or Resident Evil video game. This is video game bullshit. This should not be part of the thing when you give the same fucking title. Okay? It's like you look at body snatchers. Some of them are good. This film is The Invasion with fucking Nicole Kidman. If you like that film, more power to you. So to look at the teeth. One leads to another. And the two Americans come back. The Kurt Russell wannabe Joel Edgerton and his black buddy. They think, oh, where'd you go with him? They put him in somewhere, a holding center. Ultimately, you find out neither of them were the thing. But they break out and they're, you know, drop your flamethrower, and one guy shoots the other, and he blows up because the shoots through the flamethrower. You get to how this is created. The silliest fucking shit in the movie that I wanted to walk out when this scene happened. They're tearing the guy, and the arms just fall off. And the arm turns into this shitty spider. I'm like, really? I saw that in Dead Space, the video game as well, the fucking spider shit. And this is where you get the scene where the guy is pretty much like the windows. Except, instead of the cool way, it's, oh, no. This little spider thing just grabs his mouth. The guy from Dumb and Dumberer, he got stabbed in the stomach. And this other guy, horrible CGI, transforms. He crawls over to Dumb and Dumberer guy. Rubs his face against Dumb and Dumberer guy's face. Hey. And then that's where you get this. And then they both just run off like a fucking, like a video game. And of course there's a, you know, Ripley light. Dun, dun, dun. You know, killing windows, or okay, it's not windows, but shooting him with a flamethrower. The black guy, he gets stabbed, and he has to get burned as well. And then they're searching, and they fight some spiders, CGI spiders, and I think Caruso wannabe puts the axe in. I understand, you know, he's about to grab, and she goes, no, that stays there. Because they have to fight in this movie. I understand there's blood on it, so you don't want to get infected. But it just felt so obvious. Like, I don't know, just fucking... And then they're looking around, and then the fucking this thing tries to cast Joel Edgerton, Kurt Russell wannabe. And the fucking is going, and she, of course, torches it. It flies out because it gotta be found outside. torches it. Then they find the prick guy, Sanders, who's been a prick throughout the whole film. Which, when he had his headgear, he reminded me a lot of this guy from the original. Like, he had this headgear on. It reminded me so much, and he's a prick scientist. It reminded me so much of this guy. So I wonder if that guy was because of this, you know. But this guy did it better. And he drives away, and they chase after him. And then, oh my god, the third act, they get to the spaceship. CGI land. And the spaceship just starts. And I'm like, so wait a minute. The spaceship was working this whole time? Why the fuck didn't they do that in the first place when it jumped out of the fucking ice? Why didn't they grab a fucking thing? Or the first or the second time it fucking did it. Sneak out, grab it, boom, and start his fucking ship. It didn't crash. It's not broken. It's starting up. Why the fuck didn't do that in the first place? This ship isn't broken? And this ending, you know what it reminded me of? Remember this film? Where it took place in Antarctica, and it was inside a fucking spaceship that was starting and ready to fly away with a guy and a girl. That makes me pissed off. I'd rather be Mulder and Scully and Mulder held in a fucking flamethrower. I'd rather see this. A sequel to The Thing with these two. Or whatever the fuck. And it pissed me off. No sequel to The Thing with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter. But we get this instead? With a spaceship that all of a sudden works. Their power supply is fucking Tetris. It's a bunch of Tetris. You know Tetris, you know, the blocks? It's like a bunch of like rainbow colored Tetris blocks. I was ready to hear that music. Why the fuck is the spaceship here? Who gave a shit about the spaceship? By the way, who gave a shit about the Norwegians? Who gave a shit what happened? This was an unnecessary story. A sequel. Hell, do a sequel and have it be like, well, we found this guy called McCready, and, but he went into hiding. I mean, he had this weird story, and we didn't believe him. We kicked him out, but he's living in a remote area. And then you can have Caruso do like a, I would rather have him star, but if he didn't want to come back, at least have like, okay, he's safe. He's, you know, in another part of the world, isolated. And you could have like a recording of him telling about the thing. And this thing that happened in Antarctica. And then take place in the jungle. Or take place in the city. Take place in the town. Take place anywhere. In a fucking police station. That's a hospital. That's quarantined. Anywhere. Hell, watch this film again. Different location. More to it. Better characters. Memorable lines of dialogue. Fun as hell. Great special effects by Stan Winston. And this film gets shit on. This film doesn't get the pass. This film gets forgotten. This film is a fuckload better than this shitty ass movie. So the spaceship starts off, and you know, bad CGI monster runs after her, and she ends by getting a grenade thrown into its mouth, blows up. The ship blows up. Joe Edgerton, you know, Caruso wannabe doesn't do anything. He has a flamethrower, but he doesn't get to use it at all. This guy doesn't get to torch anything for some fucking reason. And then they're about ready to go. Something about there's a Russian place 50 miles away, and I'm like, they never mention it in this film that there's a fucking Russian place 50 miles away. That was never mentioned. Okay. And I don't even think they even mentioned the American outpost. If they did, I completely bypassed it. And they're talking, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then she knows this, you know, when you came back before, you know how I knew you were human? You wore an earring. Really? An earring? And then he does this, it's like, it was your other ear. And then burns him. I guess he was the thing, because they added some sound effects. But he never changes. You know how they get burned? They change into the thing some way, some form. When he gets burned, he's just yelling, and I guess they add some sound effects, but you never see him turn into the thing or face split open or anything. See, the way I would have ended it, it would have been more interesting, is that you have this guy. I mean, I give him crap, Joel Edgerton as a Kurt Russell wannabe, but he was better than anybody in the fucking cast. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I mean, they're like so, but they're not given much to do. Especially this Joel Edgerton, because he disappears and then him and the black guy come back and they don't really do anything. They don't really use the flamethrower or anything. I'd have this guy helping the girl out at the end. And then the biggest twist would be that Mary Elizabeth Winstead was the thing. And he burns her. And then he sits in the snow cat and figures out what to do next. Wouldn't that be more shocking? Like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. But no, of course the girl lives at the end. She's sitting in her snow cat. Has to figure out, is she going to freeze to death? Is she going to be able to find the gasoline to get to that thing 50 miles? And then the movie ends. And like, what? But it's during the end credits where you have this guy Lars, who he's the only one who doesn't speak English. He disappeared like halfway through the film. And now he appears. Now. And this brand new character comes in a helicopter. And we're like, where the fuck did this guy come from in the helicopter? And he lands. And that's when you did John Carpenter's Store. And then this dog that came out of nowhere. We only saw one dog in the fucking movie. They showed us one dog in the movie, and that dog got killed. So where the fuck did this other dog come from? I swear to God, I just saw the film, folks. One fucking dog they showed. One fucking dog. He was dead. So where the fuck did this dog come from? And then, oh, we must go get him. And the guy doesn't even look like the guy in the fucking this movie at the end. He doesn't even look like the guy. And you know that guy who killed himself? This is the only time you see him dead. The after. Like right during the end credits, it cuts to the scene where the guy is dead, his blood froze. I'm like, who the fuck was that guy? Which one was he? And we never even saw a scene building up to him sitting down and killing himself. If that's a deleted scene, that's not my fault. The one maybe interesting thing about the Norwegian camp, they don't even show it. They don't show the guy sitting down, killing himself, freezing. Nothing. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Which one was he? I don't even fucking know which one that was. I don't even know which one that was. Did they film it and cut it out? Again, that's not my fault. I said, fuck this movie. If I was alone and those two people were in there, I would have said, fuck this movie. Fucking fuck. See this ticket? Fuck this fucking... Fuck this goddamn fucking piece of shit. Fuck. Fuck. Fucking goddamn it. Fucking what the fuck? Are you serious? The reason I'm so pissed off the most is you say no to a sequel with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. Which John Carpenter, he's a guy who doesn't use CGI that much. Even Ghost of Mars, 2001, he's a guy who likes to stick with the old school stuff. Maybe he could get Rob Bottin to come back. The guy hasn't done much for like 10 years. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be cool? Oh shit, what more can we accomplish now after 30 years? Kurt Russell coming back? Kurt Russell alone being in the movie would be better than anybody in this movie. The cast is totally forgettable. The characters, they're so forgettable. I'm like, that guy died, who the fuck was that? No, that guy died, who the fuck was that? It's a pre-made that if Name another pre-made that feels like a remake. X-Men First Class doesn't do that. I'm not a big fan of the movie, but it doesn't feel like a remake. Even Star Trek, even Missing in Action 2, which I know they're supposed to reverse, but it still doesn't feel like a remake. Name another prequel that feels like a remake. Except Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. But I didn't like that movie either. But this movie, shitty boo scares, horrendous special effects make it look like a goddamn video game. No tension, no suspense, one-dimensional fucking characters, shit that fucking like, why? Unnecessary bullshit that they do, not a sequel of Kuros of Dark Tower, but this prequel bullshit with the same fucking title. Just forgettable, pointless, unnecessary, generic, mediocre to beyond. The definition of mediocre is this fucking movie. And teeth fillings? Really? That's the best you come up with? Teeth fillings. Open your mouth and suck my dick. It's alley movie. Suck my fucking dick. I hate this goddamn movie. I hate this fucking movie. God damn it. Oh my god, fucking god damn it. Fucking hang on, fuck. Just fucking God damn. With an ending with a spaceship that makes me think of the fucking X-Files ending. The inside of the spaceship almost looked the fucking same. But it was done better in this movie. Oh my god. You know, I love this film. This film is my favorite horror film. This film does not deserve the thing. It is a piece of shit cash-in. It's a fucking cash-in on the title. Just like Nightmare on Elm Street, just like all these other fucking movies. Fuck me. Fuck me. It's like, fuck. It's like Halloween 2007. The prequel shit, I didn't give a fuck about. You don't give a fuck about the Norwegians. You learned enough to be scared about the Norwegians. Wow, shit went down. This guy killed himself, it froze, and what the fuck was that thing? You find out here, and it's all mediocre. Bad, you know what happened? It was bad Dead Space Resident Evil graphics. And the guy from Dumb and Dumber got smushed to death. And teeth fillings. And fucking pre-made bullshit. So yeah, fuck this fucking movie. Suck my dick. Fuck this movie. Nothing good about it. I don't understand why people give it a pass. There's nothing entertaining or enjoyable. You might as well watch fucking White Out with Kate Beckinsale or a sci-fi movie, SYFY, as in why the fuck are we making this flick? Acting, you don't give a shit about one act. You don't give a shit about the acting. Oh, here's a Ripley wannabe. Wow, we haven't seen that 50 other fucking times. Nothing different. Oh, it's a prequel. Try a little fucking harder, man. Then teeth fillings and a Ripley wannabe and a spaceship taking out fucking X-Files, the good movie. God damn it. Oh, but this guy hated now, just like, yeah, this guy hated, but this became a classic. This will not become a classic. I guarantee. Again, this is like The Invasion with fucking Nicole Kidman. That's how bad it is. This is worse. Being a big fan of the movie, it's hard to differentiate. This movie is #1 in my shit list. Fuck you, writer, for bitching about me, complaining about your movie. I saw your fucking movie. I paid for it. I want my money back. Kiss my ass and suck my gold-plated dick. Fuck you. Fuck this goddamn movie. And have a happy Halloween.